What is up, everyone? My name is Anthony, director, actor, and cinematographer. And today I want to talk about something that a lot of us have struggled with in the past, or something that a lot of us are still trying to figure out today. And that's how to find your personal voice and aesthetic in filmmaking. So let's get started. Now, what do I mean when I say your personal voice and aesthetic in filmmaking? Well, this can mean a lot of things. If you're a screenwriter or a director, this can be your voice, how you tell a story, that overall feeling that when you're reading a script or watching a film, you can say, yes, that is a Anthony film. That's a Wes Anderson film. That is a Christopher Nolan film. Those specific nuances and things that make the film yours. And if you're a cinematographer or a DP, this could come down to things like your lighting choices. Do you like more high key things, or are you really about dark and more gritty looks? It can be your lens choice. Do you like something that's really clean and clinical, or do you like something that's got a little bit more character, a little more vintage, whatever it can be? And so how do you go about finding this specific voice and style if you're a filmmaker? Well, there are a few things that I've learned over the years that have helped me kind of refine my personal style, and I think are super important when you're looking to build your own style and voice. The first thing that's really helped me kind of refine my voice and style is to use references. Now, when I first started out, this was something that I didn't do regularly, right? If I was going to go shoot something, I would just go shoot it and that would be it. And then I would kind of edit and color grade it to how I thought I liked it. And that was it. Right? But if you take the time to look at references, it can help you tremendously in crafting your own style and voice. Now, how can you go about doing this, right? One of my favorite ways to do it for film is actually a website called Shot Deck. So I've had a Shot Deck subscription for a while now. And if I'm starting a new project or starting a new short film, what I will do is go to this site, kind of put in the style that I'm looking for, and Shot Deck will find other films and show me frames from those films of things that are in a similar style and aesthetic, right? Shot Deck is basically this giant database of frames and stills from pretty much any movie you can think of. So you can go through and find references of what you're looking to shoot and kind of tweak and refine from there. Watching movies is also a great reference that you can use to help in crafting your own voice and style. I make it an effort to watch a new movie at least once a week. And while I'm watching this movie, I'm making sure that I'm taking notes on the style, the look, the story structure, the writing, all of those things. And basically, I can look back and compare what I liked, what I didn't like, and kind of pull things that I did like for my own films, and then leave behind the things that I didn't like, and basically kind of craft my own style of things that I liked from this director, from this cinematographer, from this colorist, all into one thing that then becomes my look and my voice. Now, am I saying that I'm going to Shot Deck and watching these movies and pulling these references so that I can copy them one for one? While that is a great learning thing that you can do if you're just getting started out, I'm not trying to copy these styles one for one. I'm taking the things that I like from each one, and then I'm putting them all together and kind of creating this hybrid style that then becomes my own. But having these references is a super important starting point so that you can continue to grow as a cinematographer, as a director, whatever it can be. So if you're looking to get started out and looking to build your own personal voice, I highly recommend pulling references to look at so that you can learn from the greats and have those skills and tips trickle down to you so that you can use them on your next shoot. The next thing you can do that will really help you find your own personal voice and style is to go out there and make something. Now, I know this seems super obvious because we just talked about pulling references, but it really can help you to refine your voice and your style. If you take those references and the things that you learned from watching movies and looking at stills, and then you can practically apply them to your next short or your next scene, whatever it is, then you're taking what you learned and you applied it. And the great thing about going out and making something like this is that once it's done and once it's edited and you finish the whole thing, you can then look at it and learn from the mistakes that you made on this project, because I guarantee you there's going to be a few. You can learn from those mistakes and help you to grow in your creative process as you move forward. And so it really is helpful if I make a short film to then sit down and watch it afterwards, maybe a week or two after, and to really take it in and say, was this the style I was going for? Does this sound like me? Is this the kind of movie that I would want to watch? And then keeping a mental note of all of those things that I learned from that shoot so that the next shoot I can apply those things and really hone in on my voice and my style. A great example of this was our last short film, Because It Must. Now, when we've been shooting short films recently, one of the things that we've struggled with is lighting. And so I knew that in this film, I wanted the lighting to look really natural and really almost like we shot it without a big lighting setup, right? So while we were on set, I shot a light through the window outside and had it bouncing off of a bounce onto the main subject's face. And I remember Nick, one of my cinematographers, he goes, "Oh, you don't want to put like a softbox or anything in there for some light?" And I told him, "No, I don't want to put that in there because I really want more contrast in the shot than what we've gotten in the past. And I really want it to bounce off so we get this nice soft look rather than it feeling sourcey and having a softbox right down there." And so all of this to say is because we had shot things in the past, I had those references from other movies, but I also had my own references from projects that I had shot. I was able to take a mental note and say, okay, I don't want it to look like that, but I do want it to look like this. And so I was able to take the references and my own shots and kind of combine them and make sure that this shot that I was getting was exactly what I wanted. And in the end, it turned out great. I had the exact contrast ratio I was looking for. I had these really dark shadows and then this soft wrap of light on the face that I was super happy with. But I was only able to do that because I had looked at references and I had looked at previous shoots that we had done, compared everything, taken notes, and knew exactly what I wanted to do for this shoot. So going out there and making things is not just about making the project. It's about learning and growing so that the next project you make, you can apply those skills and have them ready at your disposal so that that project comes out even better than the one previously before it. And one of the last things you can do to really help you refine your personal voice and your style is to do what I call review and refine. So what does this mean? So we've already pulled references, we went out and shot the thing, we edit it, it's done, we post it, great. Now it's time to do what I call review and refine. So we've made the project, we're going to review it, we're going to take a look at it, and as I kind of alluded to earlier, we're going to ask those hard questions. Is this the style I was looking for? Is this my voice, my style? Does it sound like me? Does it look like what I had in my head? And take notes on those things so that the next project we can actually refine those skills and make the next project better. The only way that you're going to find your personal voice and your style is to try new things, right? If you see a reference and you're like, oh man, that's kind of out there, let me push it and see if I like it. Well, if you like it, then great. That's something that you can add to your arsenal of your personal style. If you don't like it, that's also great because now you found out just another thing that you don't like, so you can make sure that you don't do that again in the future. And all of this only comes from reviewing and refining. Take the story I mentioned earlier. If I had not taken the time to review my footage from the project earlier and saw, oh my gosh, our contrast ratio was really a little bit off. I don't like that. It's not what I was going for. Had I not done that, I would have had a higher probability of making that mistake again on this shoot where it really mattered. So sitting down and reviewing your footage, taking those notes, I promise it seems tedious. Sometimes you don't even want to look at your own work. I totally understand that, but it's going to pay off in dividends in the future because you're going to be able to take those mental notes about what worked, what didn't, and you're going to be able to refine your style. And a bonus tip I wanted to throw in is something that I've been trying recently to help refine my voice and style is actually using AI to help with this process. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, this guy is so bullish on AI. Well, this is how I'm using it to kind of find that style. I sat down and I prompted Gemini to say, hey, look, I'm a filmmaker. These are the kind of films that I like. This is stuff I've shot before. And I want you to sit down and ask me questions about movies, about style, about art. And I want you to kind of take note of these things to help me refine and kind of figure out my style. And so the AI went through it, asked me questions. I would answer them honestly. And we kind of had like a 5 to 10 minute conversation. And at the end, it was able to kind of summarize what I liked. It said that I like dark, gritty things, more psychological and thriller style films. I like a green color palette. I like things to be kind of yellowy and green. And basically, it gave me a whole summary about, based on the questions that it asked me, this is what it thinks my style is. And so this was kind of great, especially because if you're just starting out and you don't really know what your style is and you don't even know what references to even start looking at, this could be a great starting point because now that I had an idea of what my style was based off of these questions, I said, great, can you recommend me 10 movies that would fall into this category? And it did. And so now I have a list of some movies to build off of, some frames to go look at, and really decide, is this the style that I feel like I want to emulate and want to build off of and grow from? Or do I need to make refinements so that I can really hone in on what is my voice? And so this is a great way that you can basically have a conversation with someone and really have them ask you questions, have things that you can answer honestly. And then at the end, you have an idea of what your personal style and voice is and some references to go look at right away. So you can really decide if this is something that you want to kind of expand upon, or if you need to refine it and have it give you other options to look at. So I highly recommend, if you're someone who's just starting out, or even if you're just trying to pivot and change what your voice or your style is, go on to ChatGPT, go on to Gemini, whatever your AI is of preference, and key that prompt in, right? Hey, I'm a filmmaker. This is my current aesthetic and style. These are a couple of films that I like, blah, 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 blah. Ask me a few questions about cinematography, about art, about colors, about framing. Ask me these questions so that at the end, we can decide what my style is and what my voice is. So highly recommend giving it a try if you're someone and you're trying to build on your voice and style, but don't even know where to start. All in all, creating your own personal voice and style is difficult, and it takes a long time to really hone in on what that is. So while these are just a few tips that can get you started, I really think that going out there and practicing, doing it over and over again, is going to be the way that you're going to eventually find what your voice and your style is. So if you're just starting out, know that it is going to take a while, and it may be frustrating at times, but as long as you use these tips, keep going, keep making things, eventually you will find what your style is, what your voice is, and then you can really hone in on that and continue to grow as an artist. Hey, if you like these kind of videos, make sure to like and subscribe down below and click that bell icon so you stay up to date with the latest videos that I release. And as always, my name is Anthony. Go out there and make something cool. I dare you.